I think one thing with me, and it goes back to what I said about being passionate about life and being passionate about impact. It can sound cliche, but that's really who I am, to be honest. I couldn't think of a life or an existence where I was basically pursuing things that had me, just me at the center of it. It has to be a collective. It has to be something that enables us to carry other people along on that journey. So, you and I were in, school together, and I recall even from Lagos Polytechnic all the way to Obafemi Awolowo University, if I was ever in a project group or in any group engagement and volunteers were needed, I will be one of the first to volunteer. Not the first, but one of the first. Once I see that people are not willing to put themselves forward, for me, it's an automatic thing. And the reason is because it's a collective. If nobody is stepping forward to assist to move things forward, then how do we move things forward, right? So I'm on a table, I'm in a group project, I'm anywhere, and I see people picking roles. I'm never the one to sit back and want to be docile. So I want to be able to contribute. And so that has influenced how that trajectory has played out in what you call it then, Lagos State Polytechnic. I ended up rising to the role of the assistant choir lead, and I worked with
Yes.
Ronke at the time. And it wasn't
Yes.
that I positioned and said, oh, hey, look, I want to be noticed. It was that I was willing to share what I'd known. Now, the precursor to volunteering, obviously, is that you need to hone your skills. And I'll say this for people who are listening. Look, the reality is that skills will always, fish you out within the crowd. Skills are very important, right? People sometimes miss opportunities to hone their skills. There are sort of latent, gifts that people have, talents that people have, but without honing it, what happens is that it's not of much use to a lot of people. I was speaking to a young man yesterday who came for some sort of mentorship and some career mentorship, and I said two things that I think could be useful to our listeners today. I said that there's what you call the functional competence and the technical competence. Functional competence is sort of generic. So if I say HR function, oh, I'm an HR practitioner, I spent 10 years in HR, that's functional competence. But if you've spent 10 years in HR, I'll expect you to be able to sit down and crack and put together payroll. If you're going to be able to put together payroll and ensure that there's little or no errors, that's technical competence. It requires you to be able to know perhaps how to use the maybe software that is required, let's say SAP or even just Excel. And you put together payroll and make sure that when you submit it for like 100 people, we're looking at it and there's no error. So that's different from functional competence. And I don't have to be a HR expert to be able to put together payroll. You understand? So it's important for people to hone their technical skills, because technical skills will enable your functional, usability or functional flexibility.